name is Jordan. I want to welcome you to the first video in our series of render tutorials from JSquaredTutorials. Today I'm going to be talking about some tools that you can use, which are good, which are bad, and you can make a decision based on your own preference. So first, what we need to have an understanding of is what a render is. And a render is basically an image. We have an image of Yoshi here, and it's an image without a background, so it would be just Yoshi without this white around it. This would enable us to put it on a different background. Say we wanted a black background or a red background, or maybe a blue background that we wanted Yoshi to be on. We can do that if we just render the image out. So how do we go about rendering the image? Well, one of the first things that people think of when they want to erase something or maybe get rid of the background, which is our goal with rendering, they automatically go for the eraser tool. And this is not necessarily the tool you want to use. This is not the tool that an experienced renderer is going to use. And I'm just going to show you why here. You go around here and just erase all of this. You can drag it around however you'd like, but it's always going to come out the same here, where it's going to be choppy. It might have some extra background hanging out there. You see right there. Even if you're very careful and you take your time, it's not going to come out the way you want it to. So this is just the eraser tool. You want to get that out of your mind. This is not the ideal tool to use when rendering. Same thing, you can use the magic eraser tool. You think, hey, that's just going to delete everything in one color, and since the background is one color, why not just do that? So let's just try that out. Alright, that really doesn't look terrible, but if we come over here and we start to look at these other parts of the render, if we look here, we see white outline. If we look here, white outline. If we look here, wow, that's a lot of white outline. So you just get lots of white bordering left over from the background that you can get off of there by using a different tool. So the three tools that we're not going to use, and I showed you two of them, are the eraser tool, the magic eraser tool, and the magic wand tool. The magic wand tool acts exactly like the magic eraser tool. It's just, it requires one more step, which is hitting the delete button after you select the background. See, after you do that, deselect, you're gonna end up with the same borders that you had with the magic eraser tool. Okay, so what tool do we use instead of the eraser or magic eraser and wand to get rid of these borders and to prevent these rendering mishaps from happening? I'm going to be going over that in just a second. Alright, now that we're past those bad tools that we want to avoid using while rendering, we're going to move on to some tools that we do want to use while we're rendering. And I've just reset up here. I've went back to my original image and I set a black layer behind it that I can sample from. Alright, a tool that is common among renderers, but not the most common, is the polygonal lasso tool. This tool is decent, so I'm going to go ahead and show you how to use this one also. But the polygonal lasso tool, it only makes straight lines, but it makes it where you can control exactly where it goes, and you can control where each point goes. So if we just go around the curve, and we can make small segments to make sure that it stays inside the border, right? Just keep doing that. Doing this kind of quick, so it might be a little bit messy. And then we're going to come out here, just connect these areas so we can delete it. Deselect. You see, we sort of have a smooth curve here. Like I said, I don't use polygonal lasso tool a lot, so I'm not real experienced with it, but I'm just showing you guys basically how this works. Just trim it up a little bit, keep a nice smooth curve, and that really doesn't look terrible. But like I said, this is all about preference. and I actually prefer the pen tool, so I'm going to show you how to use the pen tool also. Let's go to a curvy area. Here we go. This is good. Zoom out a little bit. So over here on 600%, we're just going to select our pen tool. And with the pen tool, what's great about the pen tool is you can make curves. And with the curves, you can curve along edges, and then you can make your selection and delete it. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete that path. And let's say we want to start right here. Alright, come over here, and to make our curve, we want to click our next point without releasing the mouse yet. Drag along to make it line up with the edge. Once you have that, you'll have this little leg here, but if you've never used the pen tool before, you won't have this, so you want to go up to the top where this weird shape is, and where the arrow is, click rubber band. You want to have that checked. Also with the pen tool, you want to make sure over here, that you have the paths selected and not shape layers selected. Alright, and then just continue with that. You pick your next point, just make sure the curve is lined up nicely there. Here you see that it sort of doesn't line up that great, so what you want to do is you want to grab and press Alt and then click and drag on the anchor point and just drag it in so that you can reposition yourself and pick another point and make it conform to the edges of your image. You want to just keep doing that like so. Click and drag. Here you can click and drag in a little bit. Click and drag. I'm just going to finish this finger right here. Alright, I'm going to come out here. Come back down to our original point. You want to right click, make selection, hit OK, and press the delete key. Deselect. Alright. Did this kind of fast, so it's a little bit sloppy, but as you can see, it's going to be a nice smooth curve, and you can come back and touch up these spots that might have some white background in them by just making your selection. Okay, delete. Come back to this finger. Just some basic touch-up stuff. Alright, you want to just keep doing that to make it look like what you want it to look like. Like I said, I'm just trying to do this real quick just for the sake of this tutorial. But if I was actually doing this, I would spend a little bit more time in making it look good. But you zoom out, you look at it, and that looks really nice. The curves go real nice, and then we can look at it, no background, we can change the background color. Maybe we want it to be red. Change the background color to red. So that looks pretty nice. So just as a recap, we don't want to use our eraser tool. Eraser tool, that's a bad tool to use, okay? Bad edges, not a good thing. Magic eraser, also not what we want. Avoid it. Magic wand tool, we do not want to use the magic wand tool. Remember, it leaves us with borders and choppy edges and not the desired outcome. Polygonal lasso tool, it's good if you'd like to spend more time on your renders. It does not make curves, but you can make the curves by spending time to go along the edges and make accurate short line segments to keep the curve looking nice. And then the pen tool, which does nice curves, shortens cutting time, and leaves you with a good result in the end. This is the end of the first tutorial. We will be getting at you next time with some render basics. This has told you what tools you need to use. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys understand what we're doing here. Hope you guys understand the purpose of this tutorial. We will see you next time on JSquaredTutorials.